All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to cut right through all the noise, all the hype surrounding OpenAI's brand new release, GPT-5.
The launch was met with this huge mix of reactions. Everything from, wild excitement to some pretty deep skepticism. So what's the real story here? Let's dive in and figure it out.
So let's start with the hype machine. What exactly did OpenAI promise with GPT-5? I mean, the official launch was just packed with these super bold promises, and it set expectations like incredibly high for what this new model could actually do.
Yeah, check this out. Sam Altman himself said it's like talking to a legitimate PhD-level expert in any area you need on demand. So you can see, OpenAI wasn't just promising, a slightly smarter chatbot. They were framing this as a massive leap into a whole new category of intelligence.
And here are some of those big promises. We're talking software on demand, just from a single prompt, flawless reasoning, where it automatically thinks to get you deeper answers, your own personal team of PhDs right in your pocket, and a creative partner that sounds, well, more human. The vision was crystal clear. An AI that doesn't just talk, it builds, it plans, it reasons at an expert level. This wasn't supposed to be just a simple upgrade. It was a revolution.
Okay, so that was the hype. But what about the reality? How did it actually land in the real world? Well, when GPT-5 finally hit, the reception was messy. It was this fascinating mix of absolutely jaw-dropping successes and some really confusing failures.
On one hand, you had people like Theo here saying this fundamentally changes what we can use these tools for. A lot of the early testers, especially the developers, they were just blown away. They watched this thing build complex games and websites that were light years ahead of what we've seen before. For them, it was a total game changer.
But at the exact same time, you had folks on Reddit saying things like, "We've hit a wall. Marginal improvements, nothing groundbreaking." They were totally underwhelmed. They pointed to that buggy live stream, the demos felt a bit too simple, and it just gave off this vibe of, our best iPhone yet, not a real revolution.
So you end up with this massive split, right? You've got these mind-blowing demos that are off the charts, but then you had this very real, very loud, skeptical community and a live stream that had its issues. It was this huge divide between incredible promise on one side and legitimate criticism on the other, and that left everyone asking the same exact question.
Which is this: if it's not just smarter, then what is the real revolution here? If the story isn't just a simple linear jump in intelligence, what actually makes GPT-5 a genuine paradigm shift? The answer, it turns out, is all about how it thinks.
And that leads us to this idea of a different kind of smart. It's a shift from being a know-it-all to a do-it-all. To really get what's happening, we have to stop asking, is it better, and start asking, how is it different?
And this is the heart of it. The big leap for GPT-5 isn't just about raw knowledge. It's about its native, reliable ability to use tools to solve problems. It's almost like the beginning of the Stone Age, where intelligence was suddenly defined by tool use. The crucial point is this: testers found it isn't always better at just writing or chatting, but it is fundamentally, massively better at using tools to get something done. It doesn't just know, it does.
This right here illustrates the difference perfectly. Look at this comparison. When an older AI like Claude Opus faces a problem, what does it do? It kind of guesses a solution, tries to edit some files, fails with a bunch of errors, and then just gives up and says, hey, here's some stuff you can try. But look at GPT-5, the tool user. It uses a specific tool to research the problem, it takes notes, it thinks, and then it executes a perfect multi-file edit. It solves the problem in one shot. It's the difference between just throwing spaghetti at the wall and actually being a surgeon.
Okay, so this powerful new ability to use tools, well, that's the foundation for the next huge step in AI, which is what we call autonomous agents. This is where simple tool use isn't just a trick anymore. It becomes full-blown automation.
So how do these agents work? It's pretty cool. First, the agent breaks down a really complex goal, like plan my trip to Italy, into a bunch of smaller steps. Then, it selects the right tools for each one of those steps, maybe a web browser for research or calendar access for scheduling. After that, it executes those steps in a virtual space, learning and adjusting as it goes. And finally, it delivers the result, like a fully complete travel itinerary. It's basically automating workflows that used to take a person hours and hours of tedious effort, like having a super smart, tireless intern who never sleeps.
But here's the kicker. The thing that actually makes this new age of agents possible isn't just the tech, it's the price. There's been a dramatic price drop across the entire GPT-5 family, and this is a really big deal.
You see, the new pricing makes these long-running, complex agentic tasks affordable for the very first time. And that affordability is absolutely key. Because it means companies, developers, even just individuals can run these powerful, tool-using agents for a long time without completely breaking the bank. It moves the whole idea of an AI agent from being a cool novelty to a practical, everyday utility.
So where does that leave us? What happens next? The big takeaway here is that the future of AI is functional, not just conversational. The release of GPT-5, it really signals a fundamental shift in what all of us should expect from AI going forward.
So let's break down the key takeaways. First, the paradigm shift. AI is evolving from just a conversational partner into a functional tool user. Second, it's all about doing. The real measure of these new models isn't just chat quality, it's their ability to reliably get complex tasks done. Third, agents are here. This affordable, tool-using AI makes widespread automation a reality, right now. And finally, adaptability is key. The value of our work is shifting away from doing the baseline tasks and more towards adapting and finding new problems for the AI to solve. We are absolutely moving from an AI that just knows things to an AI that does things. And that has huge implications for everything.
And that brings us to a really provocative final thought from a former OpenAI scientist, Leopold Aschenbrenner. He asks, what's going to happen when computers can do all of our jobs? It's a question that just perfectly captures the massive scale of the transformation we're just beginning to see. So, what does happen when the tool user becomes the ultimate worker? That's a question we're all going to have to start answering, and probably a lot sooner than we think.